Good morning, guys. Another day, another adventure here in Madrid, Spain. Make sure you crush that like button, comment down below. I'm gonna ask you a question of the day later on today, but make sure you click that little bell next to the subscribe button and subscribe if you haven't, and that way you can join the notification crew. But what you're about to see is a clip I recorded from this morning. This is gonna pretty much answer everyone's questions that has to do with groceries, cutting, is traveling affecting, my cut? What am I doing as far as like my diet? Pretty much a day of eating without the meals, just simply showing you my groceries and discussing how Spain interferes with me getting groceries. Well, whether it does or if it does not. But I'll show you guys that clip and enjoy. What's going on, YouTube? Today we're gonna be going on groceries for cutting, groceries for competition prep, all in Spain, which, by the way, a lot of people might think is very similar. It's completely different. Everything is so much different. It's way harder if you're used to like American style grocery shopping and things that they have that you can utilize for cutting. And I'm gonna go over what I have, my methods to approaching that, my macros, why I'm not really tracking macros to a T right now, and everything else, workouts, cardio, and all that. But first we're gonna start off with what I have in the house right now and explain my thought processes on everything and kind of give you a little bit of Spanish culture mixed in with this so you can understand where I'm coming from. So I can see behind the camera right now I have olive oil. As you guys know, I was complaining in the other video about there not being any like oil spray. It was only like this type of olive oil, and I don't want to use that type of olive oil. I understand there's health benefits, but utilizing 14 or 15 grams of fat just in a tablespoon of liquid that helps you cook, you guys should know me. I've never been one to really care about the health benefits behind things. I really only train and do everything I do for results, for physique. I eat extremely healthy for the most part, so I'm not really too worried about like some extra health benefits from olive oil. I use it, so I am getting some health benefits, but I would rather not. So what I did was I picked up this spray. I actually found something, thank God, but I don't use it the way you would in America. In America, and in most countries, I'm assuming, you use PAM or like some type of spray where you spray it and it's like a very thin layer and it helps you cook eggs without the eggs sticking to the pan and stuff like that, or anything on the pan. This spray, however, it's literally just more olive oil. I'll actually show you. So it's like just a way to use slightly less. So I'm gonna use this spray for most meals, especially eggs. That way I can conserve some fats and just kind of estimate in my head where I'm at, because fats are very, very high calories. If you're using olive oil every meal, you're wasting so many calories. And guys, I understand there's health benefits, but you have to also think about the damage you're doing to your cut. Like, you have a goal and you have health. You have to be able to separate the two at some point. So, see how it's kind of like not a super thin layer? It's still a good amount of olive oil. It's not the best, but it's still something I'm working on. It's a little better than nothing, but you have to know the difference between dieting and health. There is a way to get results. There's a way to get results in a very healthy way, but you can't maximize both at the same time. It's just not. If you do, you're gonna have a miserable time. So second thing we have is water. The tap water is actually perfectly fine to drink. I guess I'm just spoiled and I like drinking like fresh water or whatever. And this place is very old, so like, and I don't really, and the landlord could just say it's better tap water just so he has more value to his property. I honestly don't think the tap water is good. There's just no way. Everything in this house is so old and like falling apart. I doubt it. But so what I do is I pick up this 5-liter thing of water and I drink that over the course of 2 days. So it costs me 73 cents and I drink that for 2 days. Now, when I'm not drinking this, I'll fill up my water bottle like when I'm at a gym and when I go out to go to a restaurant, I'll get water there. Which, by the way, guys, water here is extremely expensive if you just say water. You have to, at restaurants, you have to request tap water. Otherwise, they're gonna come over with this fancy glass bottle of water and charge you $2 or $3 for just a thing of water. Most of the time, at most places, it's actually cheaper to order like a beer, but just be careful with that. But yeah, so that's what I do for water. 2.5 liters a day of fresh water, and then about half liter to maybe an extra liter a day just from other sources, coffee and filling my water bottle up at the gym and pre-workout and all that kind of stuff. Next thing we have is this basket that we put on top of our microwave, and this is where we put kind of like our stuff we cook with until we start cutting it up. So we have a bunch of potatoes here, a bunch of onions, and a bunch of red pepper. And that is what I put in a lot of my food. So I'll never just eat like just chicken. I'll eat chicken with peppers and onions, and it's almost 0 calorie, but it gives you more volume. I don't really use the potatoes right now because I'm gonna show you what else I use. but the potatoes are really good because it's just, you can put them with every meal. You can make them with eggs, you can make them with chicken, and it just goes with so many things, and it's a great carb source. We could use sweet potatoes and all of that, but we just have regular potatoes for now. Also, fun fact, like a lot of people I feel like in fitness shop to get their food either looking for something that tastes good or looking for something with the best macros. I look for a combination of everything, but the number one thing I look for is price. I hate spending way more money than I should on groceries. I think it's just so dumb because when you're eating meals regularly and you care so much about how they taste, it's like, chill, it's probably not gonna be your last meal. Don't waste your money that way. So I don't really like to buy all the 0-calorie syrups and the $4 sauce and the $3 seasonings and all that kind of stuff. I'm very, very simple. I don't go out of my way to buy these super good macro things if they're expensive. So basically what I do is when I'm grocery shopping, all I care about is price, and I just go with the basic stuff that I need, and then that's kind of how much I do things. Just realized my mic was out for that clip, so my bad. But up here we have our seasonings. We have salt, we have sugar, which they use with their coffee. I don't, I just drink it black. This is a really good seasoning. It's garlic, parsley. Cumin is really good. I've never had it before till I got here, and it's just so spicy, and I don't really like spicy stuff, and it's good. So that's different, but black pepper. This one I've been using on everything. Is this picante seasoning or something, I think? Yeah, and it's just so good on my chicken. It's just so great. And then there's the pollo seasoning, chicken seasoning, and there's like sweet and sour sauce. I don't use that. Basically, all I use is salt, this seasoning, this seasoning, this seasoning, and this seasoning. Now, for food in our cabinets, mine is the top right of this one. All I have up there is tuna. So in Spain, or at least everything I've seen, they keep their tuna like this, and it's not like most companies don't have like a tin lid. They're like that. It's like a paper lid kind of that you unpeel. So you drain that, and over here there's smaller cans of tuna for the most part. So each can of tuna has 15 grams of protein. So what I do is I buy a packet of these 3 cans, and these 3 cans will last me a day, and I'll just eat all 3 within one meal, and it's 45 grams of protein, and this whole thing costs like $1.35. They're also extremely obsessed with Nutella in this country, so I bought this. It's like a vanilla and chocolate Nutella, and what I do is I put this in my Greek yogurt, which I actually don't have any, so I can't show you, so I guess I'll just have to explain the Greek yogurt, which is a really weird situation in itself. But this is what I use for flavor for my Greek yogurt, and it gets me some carbs, a little bit of fats, and it tastes amazing, obviously. And for the most part, that's really the only sweet thing I eat during the day. But I actually have an empty yogurt that I ate last night right here. So basically, I've been to 5 or 6 grocery stores since I've been here, just checking things out. There's only one grocery store that I should go to that I haven't yet, and it has a lot of like main stuff. So most of the stuff I'm saying can probably be resolved if I just go to the grocery store, but it's very, very far away. Anyway, for Greek yogurt, what I've noticed for the most part in this country specifically is that, and this might be Europe in general, I have no idea, but they keep the fat in the yogurt. So in America, when I go and buy Greek yogurt, I'll get some Dan and Lighten Fits or some Oikos 000 or something, and the macros will be like 0 fat, 10 or 12 carbs, and like 13 to 15 protein with some fiber sometimes. Over here, it's like, if you get a really good Greek yogurt, like if you find the best thing they have in the store, the macros are like 10 fat, 20 carbs, and like 6 protein. They're just nowhere even close to as good. And in order to get those macros, you have to get the one that is flavorless. So it literally just tastes like sour cream, and it's just horrible. It's just really, really bad. So I just picked this up just because like I just wanted yogurt one day, and I put some Nutella in there and stirred around. So yeah, I can't find any Greek yogurt here that's good, so I might not be able to eat it because this is just a waste of money because I honestly do not enjoy it unless I find something that's similar to what I get in America. And I realize like, oh, well, you can't always be thinking about American groceries. You're in a different country now. Yeah, I get it, but that doesn't mean I'm just gonna eat 10 grams of fat through yogurt. It's just dumb in my opinion. I would rather save that for something else, or and it's not even that it even tastes good, so I don't want it. And now we have the fridge. So for the fridge, I use the bottom shelf. I just have my random stuff right here right now. Like I said, guys, as you can see, everyone has, all this stuff, and then I just have the basics. So what I have here is egg whites. Over here, the egg whites look like this. This is the only ones that I've ever been able to find. It's 50 grams of protein, just like the one in America is, like the little 10 thing. This one is not like the yellow kind or the white kind. It's literally just like, it's like someone opened eggs and put them in here in a factory somewhere. Like it's nothing like super crazy or anything. Very basic, very simple, but it's cheap, which is nice. So over in America, this would cost me like $2.50 to $3 per thing. Over here, it costs about $1.50. So it's a little bit cheaper. And I do 5 egg whites every morning on the pan with maybe some rice or some vegetables or something. Something really awesome I've discovered is that sugar, low sugar ketchup is very, very cheap here. So in America, you can only get a low sugar ketchup, and it's like a really small bottle, and it's like twice the amount of money as every other type of ketchup. Over here, this is a bigger bottle, and this whole thing is only 93 cents. This would cost like $2.99 in America, or at least where I live. So that's really good because I use so much ketchup. It's like the only thing I use. So this is the chicken I've been picking up. Chicken's a really confusing topic, so let me talk about that for a second. So for the most part, chicken has been pretty easy to find, but I've had to do a lot of decision making in that process. What I've found is that there's 2 things that either happen. 1, the chicken is really expensive, or 2, the nutrition facts are bad or wrong nutrition facts. So what I mean is when I go and buy chicken, it's like $7 a pound or something like that, and I'll buy like 3/4 of a pound or whatever, and I'll end up paying like $5 or $6, and that's for a day's worth of chicken. Now, the problem comes into hand when I look at the nutrition facts on this chicken, and first of all, I look at the chicken, I'm like, yeah, it looks like really lean chicken, there's barely any fat on it. And then I go to the nutrition facts and find out there's like 25-30 grams of fat in just this chicken alone. So I have 2 options. It's to either find a chicken that has a lot less fat on the nutrition facts and hoping that the nutrition facts is correct, or just hope that the bad nutrition facts are wrong. Because I know there's fat that can be within meat, but when I cook it, it doesn't even seem fatty. It doesn't taste fatty, nothing. So I'm not sure why the nutrition facts are like that. Another thing I've noticed is that even when I cut off the fat on the chicken, it still doesn't really make a difference because I'm losing so much of it, so I may as well be paying the higher price. I don't know, chicken's just a super confusing thing right now. I need to find one good company to stick with and just completely use them only. But right now, the best one I found has been this. It's just a regular chicken fillet. It's like the thin cut chicken breast, and this is $3.97, and this will be pretty much a day's worth of chicken. It's a little bit on the low side. Most of the time I'll spend probably $4.50, and that'll be enough chicken. But there's not much fat that I have to cut off there, and I'll just get that little bit of fat off, cook it, and it should be lean. But the macros on this one were pretty much the best I've found so far, and it's 1.7 fat and 24 grams of protein per 100 grams. And here's the thing with chicken. Most of the time food items have a standard amount of macros. So like beef, chicken, eggs, they're always gonna have the same amount of protein. It's not like you're gonna pick up some superhuman food and it's gonna have more protein than the other ones. That odds are it's never gonna be the case. Chicken has like a standard amount of protein. I don't know the exact numbers. I believe it's like 6 grams of protein per ounce or something like that. And this one is pretty accurate. What I look at when I look at macros for chicken is the fat. If you're lucky enough to find chicken that has macronutrients displayed on the packaging, the fats is what you should be looking at because you don't want to waste fat on meat. It's just dumb unless you're bulking and you don't care, or unless you're having like a really nice steak as a cheat meal or something. Like if you're shopping for chicken, which is what's supposed to be your lean source of protein, by the way, if you're eating chicken in your diet, 1.7 grams is great, but anything above that is kind of like a waste. Like you could use that for better stuff. Like if you like peanut butter, you could have it there. If you like egg yolks with your food, you can have it there. Don't waste it where you can't taste it. That's a good saying. I'm gonna do that from now on. Up next, we have something that I really, really enjoy having, and it's this breaded chicken. It's pretty cheap. It is only €2. I thought it was more than that, honestly, so it is really cheap. It's 3 or 4 of these breaded chicken patties. Now, this is raw meat under there, so you still have to cook it, but the nutrition facts are pretty good. It is 10 fat, 11 protein, and 15 carbs per chicken breast, which is like pretty good. Like I said, you guys are hearing me complain about fat and certain stuff, but this is something that I would want to have fats for because it's like almost a cheat meal that I have every single day. It's just very, very good tasting, and I put it on this bread, which is just normal bread. It's nothing crazy, so I don't really even need to explain that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have as like my meal that I really enjoy during the day. And also, if you're wondering if I drink alcohol, I am currently drinking alcohol like once or twice a week. I am in Madrid, Spain, which is like one of the best nightlife places in the world. So I am going to be drinking more often as I get more comfortable with this place. But I'm not like someone who really goes out and drinks all the time. Basically, what I was just about to tell you though, before I flip the camera around, is that this beer right here, Mahu, is so cheap. It's like 50 cents per like big can. So it's like 2 beers for 50 cents. It's like the beer that they drink around here. It's so cheap. I honestly didn't want to talk about alcohol in this video because that's such an easy video that I can say, do I drink alcohol? And it would go really well, but I guess I'll just talk about it in here too. Maybe I'll throw that in the title. But, so yeah, like I said, I am drinking alcohol like once or twice a week. I'll just either, and like here's the thing, like I don't get like messed up or anything. I just have a few drinks, like a beer and a drink or some wine or something. I honestly don't really like beer that much. I really enjoy drinking wine. I've done it for a while. I just like wine. And I'll drink like drinks and I'll do like shots if I am going out. But the thing is, like, I don't really need alcohol to have fun. So I don't really do it for having fun. I just know that every once in a while having that really won't hurt me. I always track it. I always eat slightly less carbs the day that I'm going to go out and drink. I always make sure that it's not going to mess me up. Another thing is I like to use products like amino acids that have a hydration formula in them so that I drink that before and after I drink, and it pretty much eliminates any possible like hangover for me, especially because I drink a lot of water. So it's not like for the average person, they'll go out probably twice a week, they'll get destroyed, and the next day sucks too because they're hungover, they can't do anything. But in my case, I drink, I have a good time, I don't get extremely destroyed, and I never wake up the next day feeling bad because I took care of myself the night before. So I recommend if you're someone, maybe a college student or someone that goes out on Thursdays or Fridays or Saturdays or all three or more than that, to have amino acids before you go to sleep, and you'll wake up feeling much better than you normally would. Now, like I said, I do drink once or twice a week, but I will probably, some weeks that's more than twice a week, some weeks it's only once a week. It just depends, but on average probably twice a week, and it's rare that I like get super crazy. And you guys might be thinking, you can't drink, you're a fitness guy. I'm not a fitness guy, I'm a lifestyle guy. Okay, like I do things that fit my lifestyle. I make fitness a part of my life, just like I make going out a part of my life. The drinking age here is 18, so I am enjoying that. But I'm not going ham, I'm not spending all this money on alcohol, I'm not, doing crazy stuff. I'm just having a good time, nothing more than that. Don't think it's like an unhealthy thing. It only becomes unhealthy when you make it a part of your life and that ruins other parts of your life. And that's what I don't do, so it's fine. And then last but not least, we have the freezer section. This I just bought yesterday, it's really good. It's carrots, green beans, peas, and potatoes all chopped up. It's like 15 carbs per 100 grams, and I use like 100 or 200 grams, and it's just really high volume and really good. And it gets some veggies in there. And I also have this thing of broccoli, which I do like 2 cups of broccoli a day, and I have that with my chicken, and that's just pretty much what I eat for vegetables, and that's all I have in the freezer for myself. So as you guys can see, I keep it super simple. I don't really have all this extra stuff that I don't use. I literally only buy exactly what I need and only consume that. As far as going out to eat, I do go out to eat maybe once to twice a week at the most. It was really bad when I got here, but that was just because I was still getting used to things and it was much easier to do that. But now I'm slowing down on that and I'm only going out once or twice a week. And when I go out, I don't go ham. Like I'll get some grilled chicken with some really nice like Spanish style stuff, some authentic Spanish food, and that will just be like my way of going out. However, my macros, now this is where things get tricky, but I'm gonna go over there and talk about them because I really wanna cook some food right now because I'm starving. But I'll talk about macros after this. It's really different, so make sure you're paying attention. And if you have any questions, as always, make sure you leave them in the comments below. And while I'm here talking about this, if you need any meal plans or workout plans, feel free to check out the website, 20% off discount in the description, and that's gonna make you work one-on-one with me and will help you reach your goals. But let's talk about macros. So as far as macros, on a typical cut at this time, like pretty much as far as I've gone, my macros would somewhere be around like 240-ish carbs, like 220-ish protein, and like 50-something fat. But instead of doing that, since I am in Madrid, and since I'm in traveling mode in Europe and everything, I don't want to be stuck to these macros to where on Fridays and Saturdays or some day during the week I can't really go out and enjoy a good authentic meal in Madrid or a different country that I'm at. So what I want to do is basically cut down my carbs and fats, keep my protein high during the week. That way on Friday or Saturday, I can go out and I can have a really nice, like, I guess cheat meal, sometimes cheat day if I plan it correctly. And that's been what's pretty much been working for me. And it's much easier to do it that way just because I feel like
if I did it that way, I'd be limited and I wouldn't be able to truly enjoy this experience. And for me personally, it's really easy to go low carb, low fat. Like, it's not a big deal to me at all, even though I have a big appetite. But I look forward to these days where I can have that cheat meal and it's good. So on a typical day, instead of my macros being what I said earlier, I actually cut it down to right around maybe 90 to 100 grams of carbs per day and roughly 30 grams to 35 grams of fat or less every single day. And I basically, what I do is my meal is set up as a protein source, a little bit of carbs, and like veggies, and that's pretty much all I eat. And it ends up not being that many calories and it doesn't look very healthy, but then people have to realize I'm having like a massive calorie day either on Friday or Saturday every single week, and that in total adds up to exactly what I would normally be eating.
So yeah, that is pretty much how I'm eating. I mean, you could say that that's not the most healthiest way to approach things, but for me, it just works. I don't recommend you doing that, of course, but it's just something that it's very mindless. I don't have to spend much money on groceries. I don't have to do that much cooking. I don't have to think about how creative I want to get with my meals and what I can fit in and not. It eliminates all that thought process and it just focuses on eat the bare essentials, just get your protein in every day, and then do whatever you want on Friday or Saturday, and that will end up being the same thing as if you hit your macros every single day regularly. I don't think this could work for everyone because it would make a lot of people miserable, it would mess up other parts of their life, but when I'm cutting, I just get so focused that it's not that big of a deal to me. But I do want to thank you guys for watching, and like I said, if you need meal plans, workout plans, let me know in the description, discount code and everything. But I do really appreciate you guys if you're just tuning in now or if you've been tuning in for a while. Definitely press that subscribe button. If you haven't, notifications, just click that bell button. It's so important for you to click that little bell. So go ahead and do that, and then smash the like button on this video and comment your thoughts below. Comment any questions you have, comment what you want to see, anything you want, but use those comments because that's what I use for feedback, and that's also what I use as just motivation because I like talking to you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.